and welcome to another version of Wahoo Wednesday. So today we're going to be in the kitchen and we're going to talk about some meals in a mug. And these are three recipes that can be done in large mugs or bowls, and usually using ingredients right from your house. This is a great recipe to do for kids and single people and college kids that are in dorms. So the first thing we're going to make today is the good old comfort food mac and cheese. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1/3 of a cup of macaroni noodles, put them in our container, and then we're going to take 3/4 cups of water, and we're going to cook these noodles until they're done. And you may have to do it for 3 to 5 minutes, just depending on your microwave and sometimes the bowls that you're using. So we're going to actually cut away from here, and I'm going to just do some noodles that I've just finished microwaving, and I'm going to just start from there. So these are our noodles that have been pre-cooked, and so I'm going to add those. Now to this we're going to add 4 tablespoons of milk, which I've already measured out. And to that we're going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch. And this is just going to help thicken for us, make our mac and cheese stick together. If you don't have cornstarch, you can use flour, and you would probably use about twice as much. So instead of 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch, it may be 1 teaspoon of flour. And then to that we're going to add 4 tablespoons of cheddar cheese. I've actually got Kobe Jack because that's a cheese that I really like. But you can really, when you're making macaroni and cheese, you can make almost any cheese that you like. And you're just going to really mix that together. And then we're going to go back to the microwave and cook this another few minutes, and we'll show you the finished product in just a minute. Okay, so we've microwaved this about 1.5 minutes, and you can see it's ooey gooey, perfect. And you just want to use a little salt and pepper to taste. And I actually like to put a little dash of a hot sauce in my macaroni and cheese. So just mix that up, and that is perfect mac and cheese meal in a mug. So hope you enjoy. Okay, so our next meal in a mug that we're going to make is one of our favorites, pizza. And I actually made this last weekend with tested it on one of my grandchildren, Connor, who's a big pizza lover, and he got the okay with it. So he said it was really good. He enjoyed it. So hopefully y'all will too. So we're going to start off with 4 tablespoons of flour, all-purpose flour. And then we're going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder. And I like to do that. And then 1/16 of soda, baking soda. Now most of us don't have a measuring spoon for 1/16, but you just use half of your 1/8, and you've got that. And then we're going to do 1/8 of salt. And if I don't and I did, so I'll not quite put all that in there. And then we're just going to mix up your dry ingredients together. I like to get all of that stirred in there. Sometimes if you don't mix those together, you have a soda taste in a spot or two. All right, so now that your dry ingredients are all mixed together, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of milk. I have to remember my recipe here for a minute. And then I think we're going to do 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And this is going to make our crust. So we're going to mix this together really, really well. And the great thing about this little pizza in a bowl is you'll assemble your pizza before you cook it, so it'll all cook together at the same time. You won't have to be running back and forth to the microwave. So mix that together really, really well. And then you kind of spread it out evenly along the bottom, just like you would in a pizza pan. And we got that. Okay, now it's time for our sauce, and we're going to use 1 tablespoon of sauce. But I actually like a little more sauce than that, so I do about 2. So add just a hair more. And just spread that on top of your crust. Spread it around. You can see how I've got it spread around, all around to the sides. And this pizza sauce, and you can use tomato sauce. You don't have to have pizza sauce or marinara sauce. You can just use plain tomato sauce and put some Italian herbs. And I'm going to add, this has a little herbs in it, some spices, and I'm just going to add a little bit more Italian herbs to it. If it wants to come out, there we go. Okay. So now we're going to add some mozzarella cheese, and I happen to have some sliced mozzarella that goes really well in here. But I'm also going to add some shredded Colby Jack, because I just like Colby Jack. But you can use all types of cheese in that as well. And then we're going to add our pepperoni. But you don't have to limit yourself to pepperoni. You can use whatever you have in the refrigerator. If you've got ham or bacon or pineapple, or you can make this a taco pizza, whatever you like or whatever you find in the refrigerator. You can, make it a supreme and add onions and bell peppers and just whatever you got. We just did pepperoni just to make it pretty simple today. Okay, I think that's all of this that you're going to add, and so now we're going to put it in the microwave for about a minute, 10 seconds to about a minute 30. You're just going to kind of watch it and wait until the middle kind of bubbles up and you can see that it's done. Okay, so we cooked this about a minute and 30 seconds in the microwave. Like I said, it depends on your wattage, and we have a wonderful pizza in a mug, meal in a mug, and this has your crust and everything, and it is wonderful. Enjoy. All right, so our next thing is going to be our dessert. We're going to make brownie in a mug, so hold on for that. Okay, so we're here for our final recipe of our meals in a mug, and we're going to make a dessert called chocolate brownie. And I like this recipe because everything's kind of in threes is how we're going to do that. So we're going to start with 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and I already have that measured out. And then we're going to do 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. And if you're not real familiar with working with brown sugar, you have to make sure you pack it in there really hard. If you don't, you won't get enough sugar in your recipe, and you might be a little bitter. So I'm going to mix that together. And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Get all of that in there. Mix this. Like I said, I always like to get my dry ingredients mixed together before I add my wet, so it doesn't have any bitter spots in it. Okay, and then to that we're going to add 3 tablespoons of oil, and you want to do this like a vegetable oil or a corn oil, which is a vegetable oil. Okay, and then 3 tablespoons of water. That. Because they're dirty. We're going to mix this up really, really well. And this recipe calls for a couple of tablespoons of chocolate chips. What I like to do is put 1 tablespoon of these in the batter. Oh, that one fell on the table. That's mine. Oh, and I still got to add vanilla. You just see that. And I believe I need 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I forgot my flavoring. And again, I keep trying to use the 1/2 tablespoon. No, I had it right. My numbers on this are about gone. Gonna have to get some new ones. Okay. Got to have vanilla. Okay, so once you get that all mixed in really, really well, make sure it's all off the sides, and then I like to just sprinkle the last bit of chocolate chips on top. Okay, so now we're gonna go cook this in the microwave about 35 seconds, maybe to a minute. Just got to kind of watch it. You don't want to overcook this brownie. It can get dry really fast, so only, kind of keep an eye on it. Of course, if you do happen to overcook it and it gets a little dry, you can always just put vanilla ice cream on top of it, and that will just moisten it right back up. So let's go pop this in the microwave, and then you can see the finished product. Okay. All right, so now we have our finished product, and I did this about 1 minute and 30 seconds, and you can see it is a delectable brownie. It's wonderful, and I hope you enjoy it. We would love to see pictures of some of these that y'all may have created for home. These are great recipes for parents to do with your kids, for college kids, or just people who lived alone. Some of these recipes, there's a ton of them on the internet that you can find. A lot of these recipes you can pre-mix your dry ingredients and put it in a baggie ahead of time. Almost everything in this brownie could be put in a baggie except for the wet ingredients, and then you could just add those later. So you could make ahead for like kids, or if you want to take them to college, I think that'd be great. But we would love to see some that you make and share those pictures with us on our Facebook page. And I hope you enjoy. See you next week. Bye.